I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. McFadden?
Here.
Mr. Bahu?
Here.
Mr. Conway?
Here.
Mr. Rossi?
Here.
Mayor Getchia?
Here.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Here.
6 present, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 3 minutes. Motion to approve the special and regularly scheduled Lowell School Committee meeting minutes of June 17, 2026 and June 29, 2026, and to place them on file by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 4, permission to enter. 4.1, permission to enter July 15th, 2026. Motion to approve permission to enter by Ms. Del Rossi, seconded by Mr. Bahu. Any comments?
Take the last one.
I just had a comment in terms, do we have to approve it first, or can I make a comment now?
No, you can comment. Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to really look at all of these out-of-district placements and what they're really servicing for the students, and see what we can do within the district for our own students. I know we've talked about it before, but I'm wondering if we can go ahead and schedule a special ed subcommittee in terms of kind of talking about this to kind of see what we can do in the district.
That one's being removed, Mass State painting.
Okay. That was the one I had a question on. Mr. Conway?
Yeah, thank you. With the permission, we're on the permission to enter, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a tremendous amount of money here. I think somewhere around the $10 million bracket, if I might get my math correct. I'm a little confused, and on one, I was just, if somebody could enlighten me on this, on page 7, the one on the bottom, we're talking about $208,000 for one student, but it's in Florida?
Yeah.
I don't get that. Why Florida? Did the family move down to Florida?
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Ms. Brown-LeGrand?
Sure. I want to be careful just to not talk about individual students, but
Oh,
typically speaking.
Yeah, I just want
Yep.
to
Yes.
interrupt for a second. we've had this situation before.
Yes.
And I'm very, very acutely aware of it.
Yeah.
That all I'm asking as far as, I think it would be irresponsible as a public official with taxpayers' money, that I just don't, that I don't ask the question on, why is it so much money for somebody in Florida? Why would that be? And I'm not talking
Yeah.
about the student, what the IEP is, I'm not talking about the age, I'm not talking about the sex, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the individuals.
That program is a residential program. Typically, the district, when they're looking to place students in what is like the most restrictive possible placement we can place in, which is residential, we would be looking in-state. Occasionally, there are outside agencies that might have decision-making power over where a student gets placed. And in this case, once you've kind of exhausted the resources of the state of Massachusetts, and in some cases, for students that have very unique needs, the East Coast, sometimes they get placed in programs that are farther away.
Okay, and I mean, I just needed something
Yeah,
to
totally agree.
grab onto, because,
Yep.
you know, people have asked me that, and I said, I really don't know too much. I mean, I know that I certainly have experience with the Seven Hills.
Yep.
Because of my wife, so she would enlighten me on a lot of this stuff. But on this particular situation, I said to myself, in Florida, this doesn't,
Right.
I thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Well,
Up, Mr. Bahu.
sure. Should we take a vote on if we go to subcommittee?
No one's made a motion to do that.
Can I make a motion?
Why would you
to
go to subcommittee?
Subcommittee to talk about how we can maybe have some cost savings in terms of out-of-district placement? No?
If Dr. Pinto might elaborate on how can they save money, I guess. These must be dead quotes, right? I would think that these are hard line. It's not like you can go in and negotiate. It's not buying a new car.
Well, I guess I'm just saying, these students are all being placed out of district because Lowell is not able to apprise them of what they need. And not every case is as intricate as being so far away as Florida, or I get there's medically fragile, but a lot of these programs we could create within Lowell, I feel like, and that could allow for cost savings overall. And I know we've talked about it before in special ed subcommittee, and we honestly haven't had special ed subcommittee meeting in quite some time. So can I?
Ms. LeGrand, could you explain how do we come to these numbers?
Sure.
'Cause it may save them time from going, it's an IEP, so it must be. If you
Right.
could just explain how you got the numbers, because some of them are in cents, so I think that they're,
Yep.
hoping that they're dialed in. But you
These,
may be right.
yeah, these are all individual students, and in some cases, they're, for example, at some of these programs, it might say 3 or 4 students. One could be a residential student, a few could be a day student, so it's not as pure as just dividing the tuition by the number of students, because the programs sometimes service day and residential students. Students are placed out of district as part of, you guys know, the IEP process. And the decisions are always based around least restrictive environment. We always consider our in-district services first, in-district day schools if appropriate. Sometimes the student's needs, or in some cases, life circumstances, if DCF is involved, DCF can also place a student that's in DCF custody, and then we are automatically 50% responsible for that tuition. But we always consider our least restrictive environment. So these decisions to place students, and we have about 24 students that are residential, in a highly restrictive environment comes after lots of resources have been exhausted to kind of get there. You know, we, as part of the special ed department, look on an ongoing basis about kind of what are the needs. We had the presentation a couple weeks ago about our students with autism being at this point the population that we're kind of struggling with. The Gene Dar coming on board will certainly help with that. There will always be students for whom we can't support in district because their needs far exceed what we would be able to. And I think we're always looking at the populations of students that are potentially accessing out-of-district programs to see whether or not there's a way to create programs kind of in district to support those students as well. Most of our students that are out of district have been through our programming. Occasionally, we get a move-in for a student that's in out of district. We always look, if appropriate, to bring that student back. The team has to consider that as part of the meeting to determine whether we're looking at least restrictive and the needs can be met that as the IEP is drafted inside the district. That isn't always necessarily the case. But these are actual students, these numbers.
I mean, I know very well, but I guess, all right, we can just approve. the permission
Whatever the
to-
wish of the body is, I'm okay with.
I would like to have a special ed subcommittee kind of based around the out-of-districts. Not this exact one, but we've talked about this before in special ed subcommittee and having programs that lead into each other easier. And so just to have a special ed program to kind of get an update on where we are, a special ed subcommittee meeting to get an update and where we are with all of that, because I know you've been looking into it too.
So if it doesn't pertain to this, we could put it in motion for the next meeting to have that happen.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank
Ms.
you.
Martin?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just going to say, I think as you're intimating, it's two separate topics that we're talking about right now. I think we can certainly move forward to approve the permission to enter. But to Ms. Del Rossi's point, I think she's looking to have a 10,000-foot view kind of conversation around this topic. So I think, certainly she can, for the next meeting, make a motion to call a meeting of the special ed subcommittee to discuss. I will say, I understand where Ms. Del Rossi is kind of leaning in trying to bring some of these programs in-house. And, we've done that. I mean, when you look at our the autism programming that we have, that's exactly what we did. 10, maybe 12, 15 years ago, all of these students would have been placed out of district. And it's only because we built the resources in our district that we're able to keep them in district and provide them with the services that we're legally provided, that we're legally required to. But doing that for every individual student is simply not feasible. It's not something that we can do. But I think having the conversation about if there is an area that we think we might want to investigate, again, from that higher level view, I think that could be very, very helpful. And I'll certainly support that motion next meeting if Ms. Del Rossi chooses to bring it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Assistant Superintendent Robert?
Thank you. Yes, I agree that it's certainly time to continue the conversations. I know Ms. Brown-LeGrand in her presentation a few weeks ago shared that we actually are sending out of district at a lower rate than other districts that are comparable to us in size. And so that's something that we'll need to continuously work on because funding is going to remain a top conversation for us for the foreseeable future. We're also going to request that we strike the very last item. We have a correction that needs to be made, and we'll bring the very last item on the PTE back at a future meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. So there's a motion to approve the permission to enter, deleting out the mass statewide painting of $96,000 by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Mr. Conway. Yeah, we had to make a correction by Mr. Conway, Mr. Bahu and Mr. Conway. Roll call.
Mrs. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes,
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 5 memorials. 5.1, Jean Rorak, wife of Ted Zeus, H. Ted Rorak, former Deputy Superintendent of Lowell Public Schools and mother of Mark Rorak, an educator within the Lowell school system. If we could please dim the lights. Number 6, motions. Motion by Ms. McFadden, request the superintendent to work with the appropriate departments to provide a report on the current efforts to address rodent issues within the Lowell Public Schools, including the district's current pest control contract and services provided, mitigation efforts currently underway, and recommendations for additional measures on resources that could be implemented to effectively address and prevent future infestations. Seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Ms. McFadden.
Thank you. I've been talking to a lot of teachers and parents this summer at the ball field and other places, and one of the top things I hear about is that there is a problem with mice in some schools, mice and rats in other schools. I know that precautions are being taken, but I do think that it's deplorable for our students and teachers to have to be in these environments. If I pulled out a book from my bookshelf at work and droppings came out, I would be sent home and I would get to work from home until that was rectified. So I'd just like something to be explored so that we can hopefully help this come September.
Thank you, Ms. McFadden. Thank you, Ms. McFadden. Any other comments? I would like to thank you for that. I think that we should have a copy of it, and I will make a motion on the city side also to get that in case it's them who contracts out, because I think it's important. We have received many of the same phone calls all of you have received also. So I thank you for that. Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 6.2, motion by Ms. Del Rossi, request the superintendent to report on the repair projects for each of the schools and what the status is for the opening of the school year, including the Jindak School. Seconded by Mr. Conway. Ms. Del Rossi.
Yeah, so just again, a way of having an update of what to expect when schools are opening, if traffic routes are different. I know that some of the schools are impacted with like maybe a roof going on or so forth, and just so parents are prepared and ready, as well as teachers, so we know what to expect at the start of the school year, because it's always crazy. It can be a crazy time, I should say.
Thank you, Ms. Del Rossi. I believe the Jindak one we had the update on just a couple weeks back, it will be school year 27-28. I believe it's next August. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
You're correct, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 7, Subcommittee 7.1, approval of the minutes of the Curriculum and Instruction Subcommittee meeting on June 18th, 2026. Ms. Martin?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Actually, I've already presented this report at our last meeting. This is just the written minutes, so I'd submit them as a report of progress. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to accept the report as a report of progress by Ms. Martin, seconded by Mr. Bahu. Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 8, report of the superintendent. 8.1, strategic plan update, goals, actions, and deliverables. Assistant Superintendent Roberge.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Committee members, throughout the year, you received quarterly reports from us regarding the progress on our new strategic plan, Lowell 2030. And during the springtime, you received some individual presentations from each of the cabinet members on the different goals and action steps that we have been working on. So for the culmination of the first year in Q4, we've summarized a detailed narrative for each of the goals and deliverables for our year 1 of implementation, and we are ready to kick off our year 2, and we'll follow a similar cadence of reporting to you throughout year 2 of the plan. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Ms. Roberge. Ms. Martin?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to ask a quick question, and I know, Ms. Roberge, that the superintendent isn't with us this evening, but should we be able to consider this kind of the summative that we'd be able to use for our the purposes of our superintendent evaluation that will kind of be starting probably next month?
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Yes, we were conscious of putting the final Q4 report in the same format that you are accustomed to receiving at the end of each year in order for you to be able to utilize it for the same purpose.
Okay, excellent. I just wanted to make sure that that was kind of that we'd be able to use it for that. That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to 8.2, finance updates. Assistant Superintendent Roberge.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Committee members, Dr. Pinto has provided you a summary of some of the latest items and actions that are being taken out of the Finance Office as they prepare to close out our fiscal year 26 and begin fiscal year 27. If you have specific questions, Dr. Pinto is happy to answer them for you.
Are there any questions? I have one, Ms. Roberge, about the time clocks. Why is it some people have to use time clocks and not all? And I understand under the contracts, that's probably one of the major pieces, but wouldn't it make payroll easy if everybody was doing that and then it would be generated through data?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to toss that over to Dr. Pinto.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This was part of a negotiated agreement for those specific employee groups, so it had to do specifically with security guards, custodians, and cafeteria staff.
Would you know if we tried to get the other ones to be part of Punch and we negotiated their contracts? Was it part of a negotiations that the school committee tried to implement?
My understanding is that it was not warmly received by other employee groups.
I guess my question is, if it makes it so much easier for payroll to be done, wouldn't it be advantageous for all? And it does where I work. Every person, teacher down to the custodian, down to the maintenance people, everybody punches in for the payroll piece. They can even type in their times as long as they're in the building where they're supposed to punch in, they can do that. But I wonder, I guess next time we have to probably put that on our list of things we should try to negotiate, because I mean, why wouldn't anybody want to be put in, I guess would be my question. I don't know what the wish of the body is, but Mr. Bahu.
Sure. I think the only question I have is, when we did have the negotiations last time, Mr. Hall, did we negotiate a time clock piece into that contract? And which department was it? Because it looks like, you know, I believe some of the departments were listed on this page.
In that negotiation with the four entities of the UTL, only cafeteria employees and building services agreed to the time clocks in exchange for other concessions. It was approached for other groups, and we weren't able to achieve that, but I agree with what the mayor said, that the committee certainly could add that on its list of proposals for the next negotiations, which will begin in January, believe it or not.
Yes, yes, I know it's coming. Okay, great. It looks like cafeteria is listed here. So ultimately, it's still being implemented, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so we're just going to kick this can down the road a little bit. Terrific. Thank you.
So I guess my other question is, currently, what do? Do we just fill out paperwork and it gets sent over? And so we're in 1920 still?
Yes, Mayor, for some employee groups, that's correct. You know, in other districts, you probably know there's, you know, wands to get through security doors where you go 3 or 4 times. That could all be used to account for attendance, would be valuable, but of course, the union has a role in negotiating that as well.
I'm probably over pushing this, but my thought is that where is payroll? Is payroll down at the main office? Who does payroll and where is it?
It's on the 4th floor, same floor as HR and the superintendent and the finance office.
So if I work at the Riley School and I'm trying to submit my timesheet, do they have to drive it from there to you? Or do they scan it and send it?
They could do both. They could use interoffice mail, scan it if they wanted, or electronically transmit it.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? All right, seeing no questions on 8.2, we'll go to 8.3. Key performance indicators report quarter 4. Are there any questions from the body? School Committee Member Bahu.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate this report. As always, it's very enlightening to see the direction that the school district is going in. I always look forward to seeing it, and I think the one thing that I'd like to ask is if we could possibly give us a cumulative of all 4 quarters combined. I know we get the individual of first quarter, individual of second quarter, and I love to watch the progress, or sometimes, something that's really not progressing. So is there one way to maybe, for the possibly the next meeting, if you could, create a report that gives us a summary of what all these key performance indicators look like for the school year 25-26?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Bahu. Yes, we'd be happy to do that. Those indicators also compile into our district's accountability reports as well, and all of that gets released by the state. So this is all data that we feed ongoing into our DESI systems. And in August, when that data is publicized, the accountability data, you will see the accumulation of our, attendance metrics, our behavior and suspension rates, our academic performance rates, et cetera. And generally what we'll do is compile a report for you based on the MCAS results, the accountability data, which will essentially be the report that ties all of this together for the year.
Sure, and I understand that, but, sometimes we don't see that report until DESI comes out with their own report, and I believe it's somewhere in October, and then we really don't get a summary of sometime in November. And ultimately, I don't know if it digs as deep as this KPI report does. We have family engagement in it, and I know DESI covers chronic absenteeism, but I don't know if they cover it in the 9th grade, in the 10th grade, in the 4th grade, and so on and so forth. So to have a detailed report, which is, very well done like this, when you see it on the DESI website, it's sort of broken up into different pages, and you've got to go ahead and highlight it and different areas, so it's a little more difficult to read. So if you could give us a summary, that would really be awesome. And yes, and I know DESI does their work as well. I'm not trying to create more busy work, but accumulation would realistically be something, that could be beneficial for all the school committee members.
We'd be happy to. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? I have another one. On the enrollment side, when you look at grade 1 through 12, it looks like there's about a 6% reduction in students. Has that been a pattern over the last few years, or is this an outskirt number?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No, this is the first year that we have seen a meaningful decline in the student enrollment. And so up until about May of this year, we were down a net of about 360 students over May of last year. And it was just a wee bit higher by the end of the school year. So you are actually seeing real numbers. So there has been an enrollment decline. It's been, month to month, and something that we're watching and tracking carefully, because that will ultimately factor into what our October 1st allocation and count will be with the state. That is a combination of a variety of factors that is leading, and we are far from the only district that is seeing declining enrollment. There is declining birth rates, and we're going to see the class of 2025 was the largest class, so last year's graduating class. Every graduating class subsequent to that is predicted to be smaller nationally due to the birth rates. Lowell's doing great work around housing and whatnot, but we certainly saw the impact of immigration enforcement on enrollment, particularly in the first half of the school year. Not quite as much in the second half, but that was definitely impactful in the first half of the school year when families would let us know when they were withdrawing, why they were withdrawing. So we are keeping a very close eye on it, and it will certainly have implications moving forward for our finances and our programming.
Do we expect that number to go up this year from last year, or are we still thinking there's going to be a decline?
Well, we're monitoring the enrollments as they come in now. Kindergarten is up over where we were last year, which is encouraging, and we'll continue to look grade level by grade level. July and August are extremely fluid times in terms of enrollment in the Family Resource Center. There are days where you see the place is hopping, and there are families it's wall to wall, and so it really we'll have a much clearer picture of what our year-over-year enrollment is going to look like once we get right near to the start of the school year.
Yeah, I would agree. It's concerning because this is how the funding sources all work. And when you see the high school number drop as much as it did, I think that that's a concern for all of us at this point when we're starting to try to do budgets and budgeting. I think in October, you normally give us a report on these numbers when you say this is the hard number? Is that October you get that number?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it is.
Okay.
October 1.
Thank you. Committee Member Conway.
Yeah, just a quick question. Do we have a company that comes in to project what our numbers? Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Sure, Mr.
Because I think
Conway.
they've been, do we have the same company that we've had for the last few years?
So in your PTE tonight, there was a continuation of the work that we've been doing with Cropper around rezoning, and that all has to do with where our enrollment patterns are happening and what the work is in terms of studying the enrollment patterns in our district, where we've had some schools that are higher enrolled and some schools that are lower enrolled, and really working toward balancing that out in some sort of meaningful way, a little bit in more detail. We have recently refreshed our student enrollment numbers to Cropper, and they're going back to run some more simulations because this is evolving. This has really been, for Lowell Public Schools, a this year phenomenon, whereas in some other districts in Boston, this started a few years back. But for us, this is really the first year where we've seen a meaningful drop in student enrollment. So it is something that we're integrating into the work we're doing with that group.
Okay, it was, it's my understanding the company that was helping advise us has been off a number of years. Is that true? Because I don't know why I think we were talking about getting a new company, is that?
So there was, back years ago when we did the last enrollment study, that was done with a different company. So this is a newer company we've been working with, but it has been, I'm going to say 18 months or so that we've been with this same group.
Okay, all right. And you find them to be effective?
They have been highly responsive with all of the different scenarios that, and these evolving scenarios that we're working with.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Any other questions? Seeing none, motion to accept the report of the superintendent 8.1 through 8.3 as a report of progress by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9, new business 9.1, approval to accept and expend allocated FY27 awards. Motion to accept by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Ms. Martin. Any conversation? Anyone have any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9.2, budget modification request. Motion to approve the budget modification of $996,136.79 by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Ms. Del Rossi. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9.3, proposal to change the bridge program Wednesday schedule. Motion to approve the change to the bridge program Wednesday schedule by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Conway. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Ms. Delay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you. 9.4, Lowell Public Schools Handbook Policy Update, School Year 2026-2027. Motion to approve the school year 2026-2027 Lowell Public School Handbook Updates by Ms. Del Rossi, seconded by Ms. Martin. Mr. Conway.
Yeah, thank you. Through you to Ms. Crocker-Robish. I took a look at these. Do we have the 3 levels of education? Do they meet all the time to discuss this, or occasionally we'll discuss the handbooks and for updates?
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Just to clarify, you're talking about the elementary, the middle, and the high school. So
Correct.
our handbooks are done in the K-8 fashion and then in the 9-12 fashion. So we have worked between those two entities, but we have not had an opportunity for Lowell High School, for example, to sit down with K-8 specifically. All of that work runs through Ms. Brown-LeGrand's office, and if you have any additional comments to
Yeah, I mean,
share about that process.
I would think that perhaps through some type of program, leadership program or something, would you sit down and discuss this? Because we're talking about the feeder schools, you know, the positives and the negatives, so that we can improve. So that's what I'm talking about, the three levels. So do we do that?
We don't do that typically as part of a leadership program. We have a committee that, at kind of each level, that looks at the handbooks, determines what needs to be updated, and then it's actually sent to vetting to our attorneys. But we can certainly do that. I think that the challenge always is to try to be as consistent as possible without putting things that are maybe more high school in the elementary, middles, and things that are more. So it's always finding that balance is what I think. But we could certainly do that, especially if there's specific concerns.
Now, would these handbooks, would they be sent to the city solicitor, have them take a look at it?
We could. It's typically looked at by the student services attorneys.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the past they did that with the city solicitor, because a lot of times you'll find that parents will question some of the rules and regulations, and I know we've always been told in the past that you have to make it as clear as possible, because you're dealing with attorneys and so forth. When I went through this just very quickly, I took a look at, and I'm looking for consistency.
Yep.
And where you can have consistency. The harassment, that was excellent. It's in both student handbooks, which is great, because we find that, kids moving up from the elementary to the high school, they're going to know what the what the rules and regulations are on harassment. Just one other thing too, is I saw the proper dress. I thought I would just take a peek at that. It's different from the high school and middle school. For example, in the handbook in the middle school and the elementary there, they do have gang-related articles, and we're talking about do-rags and so forth. But yet, there is nothing on the high school level with that. I have no idea why you wouldn't have that. I mean, I could almost see if you had it at the high school and you didn't have it at the elementary and the middle school. But I think it's important to be consistent with that. And again, I haven't gone through the whole, the both handbooks, but this is where, we have expectations for students that are coming up from the elementary to the middle school, and they know what to expect when they go into the high school level on it. So if we could take a look at that, this hasn't gone to the printers yet, has it? Okay, all right. Yeah.
So we typically post it online. It's actually going to be electronically available when parents go into the Aspen portal,
Okay.
and then we translate them as well as I corrected an error around school
All
committee
right.
names.
If you could just take a look at that, I think
Absolutely.
it might be appropriate to have that in there.
Thank you. We will also need to be doing some updating. There's the statewide graduation council at the very end of June released its findings. So the Department of Education is offering some grant funding. So we're waiting the awarding of some grant funding to have a group to work at Lowell High School on updating and aligning graduation requirements. So there will be changes forthcoming as that work evolves over time as well.
And especially attendance too, because they don't know what to expect, and it's paramount. It really is. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any other questions? I have one, and you're going to probably teach me something right now. Under the major violation listings, what is a synthetic media deepfakes?
I was waiting for that.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm
Mayor.
old, so I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, what is a deep fake?
The Department of Education this year actually quite recently released guidance and a requirement for school districts to work in the creation of AI deepfakes. These are images, videos, et cetera, that are incredibly easy to make look very real now with very little savviness, technologically speaking, and including audio. And I know that you have probably likely seen in the media times where these issues have come to light. And so it was incumbent upon us to work those changes into this year's handbook so that it reflects the new guidance that is required by Department of Education to specifically name this as a violation in our handbook.
I just learned something. I had no idea what a deep fake was. And I'm like, what's a deep fake? Anyway, Ms. Martin.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to make a note as we're kind of cycling back to look at like the comparisons between the high school and the middle school and things like that Mr. Conway is referencing. And it's only because it's specifically around kind of the headwear issue. I mean, we have taken actions over the course of years to make some accommodations for student voice. I will just say, and it's just because it's specifically around the headwear, I know that there was a group of students that had a petition. They had come to the school committee to speak about wanting to be able to remove that from the handbook. I think at the time they had certainly made a very compelling case, and that is why it was removed. The committee had made the decision to accommodate that request, to take take that out of the handbook and to allow that at the high school. So just as we're making kind of updates and changes to kind of try to keep in mind that there are some things that happened in the past that we still want to honor. And that there is some differentiation, I think, with good reason, based on student population and again on student voice and activism. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Any other questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin? 6
Yes.
yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you. 9.5, doctoral research proposal, Emmanuel Feely Pittman. Motion to approve the doctoral research proposal for Emmanuel Feely Pittman by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Bahu. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9.6, doctoral research proposal, Killian McAnany. Motion to approve the doctoral research proposal for Killian McAnany by Mr. Conway, seconded by Mr. Rossi. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 10, conventions, conference request, 10.1, Lowell High School, out-of-state overnight travel, Mountain Borough, New Hampshire. Motion to approve the convention conference request by Ms. Martin, seconded by Mr. Conway. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu? Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you. 11, communications, 11.1, Lowell High School summer program graduation date. Motion to accept the communication and place on file by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Any conversation? Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes. Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Are there any announcements? Ms. McFadden?
I just wanted to congratulate Lowell Youth Baseball, their summer teams, their 8U teams and 12U teams are both state champions and heading on to regionals. So I wanted to congratulate them for their hard work and wish them well as they travel outside of Massachusetts.
We're just a few years away from a high school state championship.
There we
It's
go.
coming.
Yep, it's coming close.
Any other announcements? Motion to adjourn by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Conway. Roll call.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
6 yeas.
Thank you, everyone.